Okay. Now, this is a good example where the support is broken and the next support is below. Now, just wanted to continue the guideline that I mentioned. I mentioned that one can take opportunity of the support, but this is a scenario which is a practical scenario. Now the support is broken. Okay. And in my prior guidelines, when opportunity can be taken at support, remember, it is not when it is falling. It is only when it is bouncing off the support. This is very important. I didn't mention, but I think I mentioned in one of the recordings that I posted on the best practices. Always the bounce, not when it's falling. Okay. So what is the bounce? This is called bounce. Okay. So in this case, what is different is this bounce is from the middle zone, like in between somewhere. That's fine. What one trader can do, trader can wait. Why wait? Because this support is now resistance. In fact, you see, while I was speaking, it bounced and then it kind of reacted. If you see closely, in fact, it happened in front of us live because it was broken and it tries to recover. This we call false breakdowns, and it happens sometimes. And so in this case, while it was falling, I would not try to buy the dip on support, not while it's falling. Only if it pauses and starts bouncing, then I would take trade. Remember this. Okay, this is very important. Now that is clear, but this is different scenario. It's broken, fine. And now it's bouncing, but I'm not jumping off. I'm not jumping. I'm not going to jump because this is, no matter how the market is looking, it's so exciting that everything is bouncing. Good, 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 good. But my discipline says that, no, this is not broken. I want it to be broken because then it is called breakout. And the breakout on the upside, then it is more like a confirmation. I mean, the real confirmation comes on candle closing, on a day close. So it can be tracked on 12 hours or 4 hours. That's a very deep subject and very different subject. I would say hourly close is good enough for confirmation. Remember, for confirmation. Because why hourly close is good enough for APT? Because it moves a lot. Simple thing. If the coin doesn't move a lot, because if I say one day stock for stock, one day candle close is confirmation because stock moved slowly. But these coins are so crazy that, let's say it breaks out, and if I say I need candle closing about this for confirmation, but by that time it would have probably gone up and broken even this one. So one would totally lose this opportunity. That's why I say, okay, how about 1 hour? So I would say, if this is one, I will go with 1 hour for fast moving coins. And then one could choose 2 hours, 4 hours, like that. Um, Simple reason is, ideally it should be 12 hours. I mean, as per the stock market norms, but we cannot follow stock market norms here. Why? Because in one day it could move up by 30% or so, coin like APT. So we don't want to sit like duck and watch it going up for just to get confirmation. So that's why I would say 1 hour is fine. So this is, it was falling, as I said. This, if I'm just, APT is an example, not advice or something like that, because I wanted to take this another example, live example, to explain the trading methodology, right? Or best practices. So in this case, there was no bounce, it was falling. On a 1 hour I'm tracking, let's say it's falling, falling, falling. I cannot take on, so this is not buy the dip on support. Why? Because there is no pause, there's no bounce. I'm not allowed, as per the rule I made. Everybody should have a rule, right? Own rule. So this doesn't qualify. But you look at what happened. It stopped here, bounce here. No need to hurry here. It's not that you're going to miss a train. Okay. I would think that, okay, now see, it's consolidated. Fine. This is my reference point. This, if you are here, it's bouncing, exciting, it's bouncing. But I'm not excited. because excitement is emotion, and emotion is personal thing, and that is not be driving the trader inside you, as I mentioned in my prior session. The inside you says, ha, amazing bounce, let me jump and get in. But then the trader inside you says, what is my rule? Open the rule book. And then he says, oh, this is my support. I'm not supposed to trade this one unless it closes above. Now one can go for breakout and buy, but remember breakout, then one has to be ready to get out as well, in both the cases. But one could go on a breakout, which is fine sometimes, but one can say, okay, I would go if it closes only if on a 1 hour candle, if that is my rule, right? For APT, I'm going for that rule. I mean, you can go for 30-minute rule also. Okay, you can go with 15-minute rule also, which is totally fine. It depends on the speed of the coin, right? So I'm just taking an example of 1 hour here. So if it breaks out, you see how it was, because it's respecting support here, respecting technical levels. But I'm not excited here. I'm happy. If this is I'm like a predator. This is my prey. I'm happy that I'm going to get that one. But I'm not in rush, because my rule says you cannot break the rule. Okay, now, of course, then what I would do is I would wait for it to break out. And then if the hourly closes above this, so here 2 minutes to go, and it is still below. So I would wait for next hour. So the trading can be planned not in between, but every hour in that case. So I would wait for hour to close and then see. Let's say it is somewhere here. And then I would say, okay, this is my buy. Let's hypothetically say hourly closes somewhere here. Okay, somewhere here. And then this is my entry level because it qualifies. But now my stop loss would be below support somewhere here. It's a choice. You can keep below this candle. If you may keep below this one, it's a personal choice. I'm not going to repeat it. If my stop loss is here, my loss is 4%, and here it's 8%. So if you keep it here and your goal is 2%, you're supposed to keep 1/5 of the position, means 10,000 money. I can put only 2,000 for 2% risk. So that calculation, I think you got it. So I don't need to repeat it. So I would buy here. My stop would be somewhere here below support. That is 3.5% risk I'm taking here. And then you adjust the position based on your risk. This is the method. Okay. This is the rule book. I hope you find it useful. So this is a live example. So this is very tempting. And one would think, so that's assumption that, oh, it's going to go up. I know it. That's you speaking, not the trader speaking. You have to isolate the you from the trader, as I mentioned earlier. The you and of course, it's so logical. Everything is green. Look at this. It's bouncing, nice green candle. So that is so tempting. So one would think, if I can buy here, I have $10,000. I can buy here. Why should I wait here? But that's a rule, because there's no confirmation. That means the person is totally ignorant of this resistance, no matter how. So that's about following the rule. Okay. So I covered here the scenario where it is bouncing somewhere in middle. It happens sometimes. Totally fine. Then one has to, trader would wait and then wait for this breakout, and then trade is made. And again, it's one can make a trade here, but then remember, that's not confirmation. And then it's a choice, again, a choice. So one trader says, no, I don't need confirmation. One thing is confirmation. There are two types of confirmation. The confirmation about this is must. Number one rule. The price must be above this. But that is during the hourly candle. So let's say this is a new hour started, right? Now it goes up in the next 5 minutes. And one buys here. That is, so the following the first rule, that buying above the support, which is a resistance right now, which is fine. However, that person is buying without confirmation on hourly candle close. So that's rule number two. So again, a choice whether we want to follow rule number one or both the rules. Okay. And because you see, it came up to this one. I haven't planned anything, right? It's happening in front of us. This is live. So this might go up or go down. I don't know. So this is about being in the present. I don't care being a trader. I'm like a bot who has two rules, that about this check mark, okay, and hourly close above this is another check mark, then it qualifies. These are my two rules in this scenario. Then I would just go for the buy. And then of course, then before you buy, you decide that what is my exit level, and then exit level, what is my risk level, and then these two parameters will determine what is the position size. So before buying, you have to decide this one. So now you can actually decide what is my exit level. If my exit level is this, then wherever it stops after hourly, that accordingly you enter with $2,000 out of 10,000 or 4,000 or whatever, 5,000 or whatever entire. It's up to you, right? But I think this is so simple to follow, but it's not simple to stop the inner you who influences the trader in you. That's the battle, and that is individual battle. You have to win that battle. Nobody can help in that. It's you have to fight. Nobody's going to help you. And that's the only difference. Let me tell you, that's the only difference between a good trader and a bad trader. Trust me. Okay, so going back to our TA stuff, but this was good. I had an opportunity to explain another scenario where bouncing of this in from middle of the support, which happens sometimes. Okay, but now you know it, which is good. Okay. In fact, this is interesting. If I extend our yellow, it kind of coincides. I'll remove this. This is just for reference. Okay, so let me zoom out. From a pattern point of view, we can say this is a retest. Yeah, we can say that. So this is like a major drop or main drop, and this is a retest, right? Sounds good. Nothing to. So of course, if S1 is broken, then this low is taken out, and this S1 is taken out, then it's a problem. 9.5, it must be held up. Otherwise, that's not good. Right? So far, so good. So APT. Now I don't have to see if once you know the method, I don't have to tell. I'm not going to tell anyone to buy and sell. But you don't need me to say that. Even if you expect, you don't need me, because you know the framework, you know the rules, so that those rules can be applied to any situation now, right? Because I provide key levels and you have the rules. You use the rules and key levels, and you get what you want. Perfect. So no excuse for any loss. And remember, the risk management is so important. Sizing is so important. You know it, so I won't repeat again, but I'll re-emphasize. Okay. So Atom, let's move on. Next one. Oh, perfect. So this was really good last week. Last week was amazing. And we can say this week has erased last week's gain, but look at that. It landed on this trend line. It's not broken. So this is totally fine. right? And in that case, we would expect it to recover from here and then connect our this path that we have. We need to adjust a bit like this, or maybe a little more, looking at this direction, right? So this is what, if it breaks below this one, you don't have to worry unless it breaks below S2. Hmm? So this is the atom, looks okay. AVAX reacted. Look at the first, the hit, the resistance, resistance, rejection, right? All this resistance, it's trying hard. Well, it's not giving up if you look at it. So I'm expecting this yellow arch to be followed like this and then move up on this upside. So this is still near the breakout level. BNB is making progress, low, low. See, it's making higher lows, as you could see. So it's approaching R1. This is a breakout level, right? And yeah, so making progress, looking good. Doge is getting momentum, by the way, much better than last 3 weeks or so. And last 2-3 weeks, sorry. I mean, for last 3 weeks or so, it has improved a lot. Of course, this drop is because everything dropped. Nothing wrong about it. And I think there's some momentum. I see that. And as I mentioned, from a fundamental point of view, Elon is supporting Doge. I think still supporting Doge. There's no real product or service, but I have a hunch. Twitter is going in a direction. It's a private company now, like WeChat. WeChat has everything. My hunch is Twitter is going to be like multi-purpose. In fact, I don't have to even assume because I'm not sure if you read the news. Twitter company is now officially X Corp. Twitter is a brand now. The company is X Corp. The X symbolizes anything. X means anything, right? So in this X Corp company, on Twitter platform, it's not going to be just social media platform. He is going to do, in fact, he announced a partnership with eToro. One can buy, trade, stock and all. I haven't personally checked, by the way. I just read news. So they tied up with eToro, and this was the news. But I'm not sure. As I said, I personally haven't verified it, so you can check it out if that. But even so, that this is. But there's going to be more in my point of view. So the Twitter platform is not going to be just social media platform in future. It's likely to be multi-purpose platform where people would do payments and many other things. And let me tell you, my hunch is the Doge is likely to be the currency of Twitter. Again, this is my, you can say this is speculation. This is not TA, by the way. This is not TA at all. But knowing what Elon is doing, this is not TA who is speaking. This is more like this is me. You can say this is my own opinion. Okay. EGLD, EGLD, I think again consolidating. There's no big bounce for now, but it's okay. It's far from S1, not an issue. Now this level is higher, so one may use this level uh, because sometimes there's no price level. Then I would just add this green level, okay, just on this rejection point, because then one can plan if someone wants to, because there's a huge gap. So I would provide this green level in between, just outside of this channel, right? So once it breaks above this green level, then we can say that's more about confirmation. It's bouncing, but it's more about confirmation, technical confirmation. This is perfectly all right. ETH is really strong. Look at that. So this it has dropped because the market dropped. Nothing more. This is tiny. I mean, this is nothing much. It's making progress, and the path is clear. It's heading up. Okay, only if it breaks below S1, then situation changes, which is far. I'm not even thinking about it at this moment. Remember, in my opinion, again, from a technical, but more from macroeconomics point of view, only Federal Reserve can kill this rally. This rally wants to continue from a technical point of view. So I often say that technical analysis and fundamental analysis are complementary. They are not against each other, as many people think, because there are groups that they think that the FA is best, and some people think that TA is best. And I said you need to know both TA and FA to make sense, because an FA is macroeconomic FA, not the FA about, oh, this is the release, this is the listing on this. No, that's not my FA. My FA is about interest rate, DXY price action, bond market, that kind of FA, or even a NASDAQ index. That kind of FA I do. And to me, that matters because they are the drivers. They change the direction of the trend. My focus is the direction, because one cannot do trading or plan trading if the direction is totally wrong. If somebody thinks that it is going to crash anytime soon, then one cannot plan for any long, right? And we are saying no, there is no crashing scenario, right? Because there is no evidence of it. So one can plan for the long very easily. So the trend point of view, this recovery trend is still on and pretty strong, right? So I'm just diverging or digressing just to touch base that this price action that we are seeing is positive, and it can be killed only if the Federal Reserve goes crazy with respect to interest rate hike. Remember, then it will change the direction, right? But if they go softer, then I'm telling you, this market will take off like anything. So be prepared for it. May the 2nd is where the meeting is, next FOMC, right? So bookmark the timing and all, right? This is where, that's the day where one has to take a few hours off from your job or whatever, if possible, and try to be awake, because that's going to be the game changer. Okay, very pivotal moment. So make a note in your calendar, the next FOMC meeting on May 2nd, right? It happens on 2 Eastern time, which is 6 p.m. UTC, but double check online. You if possible, you cannot miss that, because this market is going to be volatile, and then that's where major decision, and that's going to decide the direction. For until that happens, the direction is up. Technically speaking, it's likely to continue on the upside, right? And there are reasons for it, which I'll cover after I cover all the coins. So ETH is looking really good. FET, we have this orange box. Maybe it will take some more time, right? So it's consolidating in this box. Once it breaks above even this, then it should do well. So maybe what I can do is I can add one more line somewhere here, just which is one more line, that even if it breaks above this line 0.5075, then it should be good enough. Early indication that it wants to break out. Early indication. 3% looking good. Filecoin holding up support, so there's no issue at this moment. It has touched multiple times, but still I would say this is the path at this moment. It will change if this level is broken, which is $5. It's holding up. FTM reacted at R1. This was the third major attempt. You look at that, not a problem, not a problem. Still consolidating, you can say, in this area. So once it breaks above R1, then it should give a boost and then continue on the upside. Totally fine. Nothing wrong about it. Matic, these are the loops that I have, first, second, and third. This is likely to be bigger one, it looks like, because of this drop. It changes the shape. So above S1, no issue, which is 0.93. Below, then there's warning. And below this is risk. Near this kind of path is expected above S1, so not a problem, but I'll add one more green level for your reference, where kind of a confirmation, technical confirmation that it wants to go up. RNDR was beaten up badly yesterday, but remember, it reacted from the boundary, and that's why the importance of box is very I mean, it's there. You can see, so you would see the box. Yeah, this box is, I have added in some cases FET. These boxes are important. I'm not saying this is dead here. What it tells you that no, there's no final confirmation. It has to break above, right? So this kind of reaction, it was bad, really. How much? 20% down in last 2 days, something like that. 24%. It was nasty, really bad one. But it is up by, so this is a crazy coin, from a price action point of view, because it has gone down around 20-25% in 2 days. But it is so crazy that it can recover in a day or in matter of hours. In fact, it's already up by 9%. So this kind of a coin is not someone who is trying to, it's not, you cannot predict every hour, every few hours. This is not at all at an intraday level. This has to be tracked on a weekly or 3-day, I would say. Even daily is tough, simply because it moves a lot, and from my experience. So this is more suitable for swing traders. This coin is not for anyone who is operating on a low time frame, like few hours or even 1 day. I don't think so. It's so tough. So you see, it's nothing wrong. Amazing upside move, then a correction, on another move, and it stopped at this rejection point, which is a very encouraging, actually, this level. So this low is actually this high. Anyways, so this is not a threat, even though it looks ugly. And if the Bitcoin if Bitcoin behaves, then it could recover in a matter of a day or two. And this is a sign, 8-9% gain. Okay, Sandcoin is more on the lower side. Okay, so we have to see, not a problem. This is more like a 5 coin. So this coin hasn't shown any strength, but I have kept this coin because of its previous or past performance. It was so amazing, mind-blowing, in fact. Very clean move on the upside, and that's why I like it. Even when it went down, it was clean. It was, how deep, I mean, I like the way, the shape and the structure, and that's technically speaking. So I believe once it breaks above orange, then we might see something like what it did in past, because that's where it will really get the boost, required boost. This is still consolidation. See, this is rejection, this is low, but the whole entire thing is more like bottom forming process. So this is still a bottom formation, right? This is not like Ethereum or Bitcoin, which is like bottom is here and it is standing here. So some coins haven't started making move, and those coins, in fact, becomes opportunity, because some coins have made, let's say, 300% move, 200% move, 100% move, and some coins have not moved. So as long as the coin is good, right, and a structure is good, and if the coin has not moved at all like this one comparatively, then I would say this is something I would pay attention, especially about this. Okay, SOL had broken about it, it dipped, but should this bounce should help it to get out of this orange line. Okay, which is not bad. So anyway, the pattern it followed the pattern. So more importantly, it followed the pattern, right? We had this arch and then this middle area, which was like more like um inverted head and shoulder, which I mentioned, right? Inverse head and shoulder, not inverted, inverse. And then yeah, so this is kind of, this is neckline, so it has kind of retesting, it has entered a bit, but it's okay, nothing major. um then point of rejection, so maybe I'll add a green level for Sol at 27.47. Once it breaks above this, then it will come out of this mess, right? Then we should get boost. In fact, this was also amazing. The previous prior weeks was amazing. So yeah, but yeah, it's not going for S1 at this moment, in not currently. So the direction is up. And once it breaks above green, I think it has ability to make big move like this. This was a big, amazing move. Remember, these are big moves. So it is silent, like what I said for Sandcoin. This is like silent for now. But then after this, I think it could show its power. Right. So I hope you like the analysis. We covered some trading best practices as well, taking APT as an example. Bitcoin session has example on support, on the bounce and on bounce, and here APT I covered when price is below the support. Before we close, let's look at APT again, just for curiosity, right? Remember, see the new hour, it reacted again. So see, this is the trader who was looking for confirmation. There was no confirmation here. So this is a live example in front of you, right? One individual says, oh, amazing candle, jump in. Inside you say, no, 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 no. This is resistance. This is a live example. Okay, so this is good. It happened in front of us, so I could demonstrate that way. That's best. So this is not that somebody planned, and this is exciting when it happens live, because then we'll remember forever. It's not hypothetical scenario. It happened in front of us. Okay, so I'll end the session and then open for any question you might have. Oh, before we end, I forgot DXY. How can we forget? Sorry. Let's go for DXY, dollar index. Okay, so dollar index broke down which level, this white line. Which white line? Let me zoom out. It's a trend line, basically. From this bottom, this low, and I kept this one. So it broke down. So what happened last week? This guy troubled us, right? So for last 2 weeks, and especially last week, DXY was the cause, I would say, why there was pressure, both on the stock market and crypto. And it really gave hard time, but it's part of the game. So DXY is not going to go down every week. It is going to bounce as well. So, when it bounces hard enough, it's going to influence, and that's part of the game, right? So but what is important is what level it has reached. Has it reached to a threat level? No, there's no threat level, because I had highlighted this bounce before it bounced, right? And then I had highlighted a rejection point before it went down. Then I said it can come down and retest. And when it was here, I had highlighted that it could bounce. It bounced. Okay, we saw that. So It is helping us understanding, and we can mentally be prepared. Now, what it is doing now, the bounce was rejected by the trend line. This was a breakdown level, and then it became resistance. See, this was the support. See the support broke down, attempt failed, then all the way down, and then second attempt rejected. Remember, the two major rejection. This was a rejection because it couldn't close above, and this was another rejection which almost touched. It's not closed. If it closes above, then it's the first warning sign. And if it, of course, if it breaks above this orange line, then it's trouble for Bitcoin. And if it breaks above this line or level, then I think it's then potentially Bitcoin make new low. Looking at the behavior and the relationship, right? However, that is far-fetched. Right now, it got rejected, so the probability of this to get rejected and go down higher. Who can change? Mr. Powell can change. Again, back to my earlier point, Mr. Powell can change the direction if he goes aggressive, but it is unlikely to be aggressive because the banks are in trouble. There are two factors, the multiple factors, but two factors I would highlight. The US CPI number is actually coming down, which is good news. Overall, CPI number has gone down. This is good. What is bad news within that good news is the core CPI, which is X or excluding energy and food, it has gone up. And the Fed looks for the core CPI. So even though the CPI has gone down, for the Fed, the core CPI has gone up. So in case if they go aggressive, then this DXY will shoot up, and then it will affect a whole entire crypto market, right? That's why 2nd of May is very important. What he decides, what he says, his tone is very important. So he might go for 25 basis points. I don't think market will see as a negative thing. But what he says for the upcoming months is what market is looking for. So my point of view, if he says, I'm going for 25 basis point this time, okay, and looks like the price inflation is stabilizing, and we don't have any plan to rate hike. If he gives that kind of signal, then the market will rally on the upside. Okay, even with 25 basis point. If it doesn't go for 25 basis point and he pauses, then the market will shoot up like anything. It will go wild. Okay, it will go wild. So these are, and the third outcome. So these are two bull scenario where degree of energy will be different. The third scenario will be adverse one, where they'll say we will go with 25 basis points, but the core inflation is not come down, and we'll decide we may continue, or if he hints like that, or if he doesn't clearly indicate that he's going to pause. If he indicates that he's likely to increase even next month or whenever is the next meeting, then the market will negatively react. That will be so what he says for the upcoming meeting is the decisive factor from fundamental point of view. And from my point of view, that's the only fundamental that matters. Mr. Powell's statement is the only fundamental matters. Nothing else matters as far as the trend and the direction is concerned. Okay, I'm not talking about 1 day, 2 day movement. Okay, so that's DXY. Even the yields have gone up. If you look at this one, because core inflation has gone up. So this is more like a triple bottom. So instead of going down, but remember this hasn't broken above. So maybe I should add this one on this one. on above this. So if it breaks above 3.8 percentage, then it's indicative. So it's again going to say if the Powell statement is negative, then this will shoot up and then continue on the upside. Otherwise, this will also break down below this one. So if you look at this bounce is not big enough or high enough, I would say, right? Which is a threat, but it's holding up. Why it is holding up? Because the core inflation hasn't gone down yet, in my opinion. So this yield will start dropping. People will start buying bonds, I think, if the Powell slows down or pauses. That's my hunch, okay, or interpretation, and based on what I heard from good economists. Right, so that's DXY and bond yields. So you get some perspective on that as well. Okay, so I'll stop here and open for Q&A. Thank you, everyone.